Hey everybody, it's Travis Weller. Thanks for joining me for the 2 Minute Clinic. We are living in some extraordinary times, and I hope that all of you are well. I hope you're also finding resources that you need, as many of you are scrambling trying to pull different things together for some online learning. Some of the big music tech groups are offering some free subscriptions. There's great ideas being discussed on the Facebook band directors groups. Even places like CBDNA has a wonderful resource list up, so I'd encourage you to check all of that out. I want to talk to you today about major and minor scales, and perhaps this could be a distance learning idea for you and your students. So there's a world of music that is outside the BEF zone, which is B flat, E flat, and F, and we've got to get our students outside of those keys. And of course, scales are the one way to do that. And I appreciate the positive comments about episode 5. And a couple of you had inquired, well, how do I teach minor scales? And I use this analogy. I talk about my brother, how we look different, sound different, how my brother Todd is much smarter than I am. And then I talk about major keys and scales, and they have a relative minor key and scale. They're going to look different, they are going to sound different, but essentially, what is the same? The whole idea there is the notes that are used are going to be the same, but their appearance, it's going to look different how they are ordered. And so this is just an idea to give students a key of their own to unlock some musical doors. And so when I was teaching 7 through 12, I would write this scale out on the board just as it's appearing in front of you. And we're going to play through it: whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, variety of rhythms. That second repetition through, no matter what I would be using, I would draw a point of emphasis to the sixth scale step and talk to them about that relative minor that we are pushing towards is built on that sixth scale step. So I need you to pay attention to that. When we would start, then I would ask the students to respell that scale using those notes, but starting on that sixth scale step. And that would become the first scale step of the minor. And students start to be able to see very quickly that yes, there's a different order and there's a different sound, but we're using the same notes. Now, my analogy of using my brother is really easy, but if I wanted to go from the minor to the parallel major, I need a slightly different thing. And so that's why I always look for two students with the same name, as you can read there. And the idea there, the students are looking different and they are sounding different, but their names, their full names begin in the same way. And that's what happens with minor to a parallel major. First two notes of the scale are the same. That second time through we would go through the minor, I would ask the students to examine their third, sixth, and seventh scale steps. And keep those in mind, because when we shift from minor to parallel major, we're going to raise those by a half step. So again, I would point these out to the students as we looked at that minor scale on the board, and then I'm going to take my time in calling on different people in each section to would you please address, and would you please change the third, sixth, and seventh scale step. And so then we arrive, and oh hey, we're in B flat major, and that looks very familiar. It's been transposed, and we can go through that scale. But we don't have to stop there. That cycle can continue. As we look at that scale now, let's take this B flat major and let's go to its relative minor. And again, pointing out that sixth scale step. And so this all drives at a process of giving students the information and insight that they can figure out majors and minors to parallel majors on their own without us having to do all that work. It's that old adage like, no, we're not giving them fish, we are teaching them to fish, and that's where we want to be. We go from B flat major, we're in G minor, and now why not? Let's keep pushing them around in that tertiary relationship, and let's go from a G minor, let's go to G major. And that's the whole idea of the known to the unknown, the familiar to the unfamiliar. We hear people in education talk about scaffolding, and this is really one small way which we can make it work and make it meaningful for our students. As always, thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate you tuning in. Listen, it's going to be a crazy few weeks yet. I want you to be safe. I want you to be healthy. Look out for each other. Take care of each other. If I can be a resource, if I can help you in some small way, you know where to find me. Please reach out. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, life, love, music. We'll see you next time on the 2 Minute Clinic.